Good morning, fourth graders. All right, so what I have here is some regular quadrilaterals, which are also shapes, which are also polygons. Because if you remember, a polygon is a shape that has straight sides. All of these are straight as I can make them. I'm not a very good straight drawer. And they all have four sides. And they are all regular because the sides have a pattern to them. As you can tell, we have four of them. Two of them, or three of them, are rectangles, and one of them is a square. All right, we have worked on perimeter before, but we haven't tried to solve the area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the area. And the area is the inside right here, like this. That's the area. Okay? So the perimeter goes around, and the area is what's inside. All right, there's two ways we can do this. The mathematical formula for area is area equals length times width. So for number one, or for A here, it would be 2 times 3 equals 6. But it's very important, that's in inches. When we figure out the area of that rectangle is not just 6, it's 6 inches squared, or 6 square inches. Now, the way that we can remember that is if we take our square and we divide it into 2, because there's 2 here, and then we divide it into 3, because there's 3 here, that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness. Do you see how that worked out? 6 square inches. Let's see if that works on our square over here. If we divide it into 2, we divide it into 2, what does that give us? That gives us 4 square inches. And if we want to check it out with our area equals length times width, we're going to have 2 times 2. And since I put the area over here, let's go ahead and put the answer over there. So 2 times 2 equals 4. That's the same thing we got from counting them up, isn't it? Okay, so we have 4 square inches, or 4 inches squared. All right. Now, it's going to be a little harder on this bottom one, on C. It's going to be harder for us to draw all those little lines. I'm going to attempt it to show you, okay? Okay, do you see how squished up it gets? And then if I try to do it across. Okay, it's going to be hard to count all those. So when we get into our bigger numbers, we're not going to want to do the counting method. We're going to want to do our multiplication. So we're going to look at 8 times 10. Hopefully we all know that that is 80. So our answer would be 80 square feet. Or you can write it this way, 80 square feet. Remember, we have squares, so that's the simplest way for me to explain it to you. First time seeing that is that it's 80 square feet. All right, if we go over to D, this one will be a little easier to count if we want to. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3. We could count all those up, and you would find out that it is the same as 6 times 4, which equals 24. So here we have centimeters. It'll be 24 centimeters squared, 24 square centimeters. Those are both acceptable ways to write your answer. All right, so that's the lesson for today. If you want to go around and measure some things, remember we talked about the difference between standard measurement and non-standard measurement. You could go, if you have a rug on your floor or some tiles on your floor, or if you have wood floors, you could use one of the wood planks and you could measure those out and see what the area is. A lot of people use this when they're putting tile or carpet down in your house. If your parents work at Home Depot or something like that, they would have to be able to measure the floor to know how much carpet they would need. So that would be a good exercise for you guys to measure the floor. You could measure your bedroom. You could measure your bed to see how big your bed is. If you don't have a ruler or a tape measure, you can always just use a shoe or a pencil to measure it. Just remember that it would be something like 80 square pencils or 80 square shoes. All right, I love you guys. Let me know if you have any questions or if you need anything. I will try to help you out if I can.